Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out top 10 actors who are great at American accents.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who are great at American accents.
Excellent.
For this list, we're looking at actors who were born and grew up outside of the United States, but who have the ability to sound like they are native sons and daughters of the red, white, and blue.
Interesting.
Are there any actors on our list that you didn't realize were not American? Let us know in the comments.
I've done a couple reactions to videos about Americans doing bad British accents and Americans doing good British accents, but now I'm doing British actors doing good American accents. And these videos actually don't do very well. They don't get very many views, but I find it interesting. So we're going down this path a third time. Thank you for joining me for this. Great.
Number 10, Margo Robbie. If you were a fan of Australian soap operas in the late 2000s and early 2010s,
I was not.
then you've always known that Margo Robbie was Aussie born and raised. However, the odds are that most people who know Robbie from her breakthrough role as Naomi LaPaglia in The Wolf of Wall Street and as Harley
Great
Quinn in a
film.
number of DC films were not watching Neighbours in 2008. And not only did Robbie
Wow,
have many
that's
of us
good.
thinking she was born in the USA, but her range of American accents is even quite impressive. LaPaglia doesn't sound like Quinn, and neither sounds anything like Tanya Harding either.
Yeah, Margo Robbie's great. She should be higher on this list, I think. I do forget that she's not American. She sounds American to me. Yeah. Margo, I know you're watching. You're great. Your accents are great. Your acting's great. Cast me in your next project.
Number 9, Millie Bobby Brown.
Right.
There are probably stranger things, but for fans of the hit Netflix show, hearing Millie Bobby Brown speak in her natural British accent in interviews or in the Enola Holmes films is probably still pretty weird. Of course, that just speaks to how solid her American accent chops are. From Stranger Things to Godzilla vs. Kong, Brown's ability to come across as American is impressive, especially at such a young age. How young? Go back to 2015 when an 11-year-old Brown put her British voice aside to appear in an episode of Modern Family.
Wow, yeah. I thought she was American for a long time. Very good American accent. Very good. I thought she was American. It is still weird to hear her speak with a British accent. Like, my brain doesn't, it's like incongruous.
Number 8, Andrew Lincoln.
Right.
Doing a generic American accent is hard enough for some people, but for his role as Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln needed to get quite specific in his speech. The series starts off in Atlanta, Georgia, which means Lincoln, as Grimes, didn't just need to lose his British accent, he also needed to add a little southern drawl to his American voice. To maintain the accent, Lincoln would keep his American voice going during filming, even when the cameras weren't rolling. In fact, he told The Independent back in 2013 that he was speaking in an American accent so much that his English accent didn't even feel natural anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's a good American accent. I don't think it's a great Southern American accent, but I'm from the Southeast American. I'm from the Southeast America. You know, I got a ear for it. Fun fact, I played a zombie or walker on The Walking Dead for 3 seasons. Seasons 2, 3, and 4. I was in 17 episodes. I get shot in the head a few times. Pretty fun. Anyway, moving on.
Number 7, Damen Lewis. Damen
He's
Lewis's
British?
first break came when Steven Spielberg cast him as U.S. Army Major Richard Winters in the 2001 miniseries Band of Brothers. It was also the first role that required him to speak with an American accent, and thankfully he was quite good at it. He's continued to show off his American voice
Wow.
on the small screen in high-profile series like
Homeland.
Homeland and Billions. And on the big screen, he's shown some variety, even being able to tweak his standard American accent to do a pretty convincing Steve McQueen in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in
Right.
Hollywood.
Y'all, I thought he was American. I didn't know he was British. That's a good accent. Way to go, Damien. He has the name of a demon. Great work, Damien. Cast me in your next project.
Number 6, Christian Bale.
Christian
Christian Bale was born in Wales, but grew up most of his life in England. Either way, an American accent would seem to be the farthest thing from this guy's natural voice. And yet, can you remember the last time you saw Bale in a movie not speaking with an American accent?
That's a good point.
From Patrick Bateman in American Psycho to Batman, Bale's made his living with his ability to transform himself and his voice for a role. And real-life portrayals haven't scared him either. Just look at and listen to Bale as investor Michael Burry in The Big Short, and Vice President Dick Cheney in Vice.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good. Great accent. I remember him from a film called Empire of the Sun Was that what it's called? He was a little kid in World War II. It was an amazing film. I do forget he's British sometimes. Great accent. Guess me in your next project.
Number 5. Florence Pugh.
Hmm.
2019 was kind of like Florence Pugh's American accent coming out party. Early in the year, the English Pugh made some waves playing the wrestler Paige in Fighting with My Family. But she used her natural British accent for that role. However, with the release of Midsommar and Little Women
Midsommar.
later in 2019, Pugh gained even more acclaim for her acting chops in two roles that both required her to sound American. And in case you were worried she couldn't do it again, well, don't worry, darling, because she can and she did.
Yeah, she's good. I knew she was British, but I forget when I hear her speak. Great accent. Really good. Really convincing. Guess me your next project.
Number 4. Toni Collette.
Yeah.
Toni Collette broke out playing
weird.
the lead in the film Muriel's Wedding from her native land of Australia. However, while Collette might have grown up and begun her acting career down under, she's definitely made a name for herself stateside. And much of it has been thanks to her ability to sound like she was, to quote Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA. Think Little Miss Sunshine and Krampus. In both films, Collette performs without even a hint of her Aussie roots coming through. She can even add a little rich person attitude to the accent if need be, as she did wonderfully in 2019's Knives Out.
Yeah, I thought she was American for years. I don't remember what I saw her in, but it was something before The Sixth Sense, a long time ago, and I thought she was American. And The Sixth Sense, her accent is Northeastern. She does that type of thing really well. Great, amazing. She's just so talented in general. She's awesome. Great work, Toni. Guess me your next project.
Number 3. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Of course.
To say that Daniel Day-Lewis is great at doing American accents is quite possibly the understatement of the century.
Yes, exactly.
Day-Lewis didn't just put on a generic American accent for his roles that required it, he created a specific voice for each character. Bill the Butcher Cutting in Gangs of New York had a brash and bold New York voice. Daniel Plainview is just as powerful, but with an accent that stems from a very different region of the country. Then, of course, there was Abraham Lincoln himself. The most powerful and important of them all,
Wow.
and the one that was the most crucial to get right.
I mean, he's one of the best ever. Changes his voice with each character. That's really impressive. I don't think I could do that. To change your voice and to have it sound real and natural, like it's really that person's voice. This guy, I feel like he should be at the top of the list. I think he's the most awarded actor. I think he's won an Oscar 3 times for Best Actor, and that's the most of anyone. Maybe I should look that up. Who has the most Oscars for acting? Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn won 4 Academy Awards, all for Best Actress. Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah. Guess me your next.
Number 2. Daniel Kaluuya. If you told fans of Jordan Peele movies that Daniel Kaluuya was British, they would probably respond with, "Get out!" Nope, he isn't. But it's true. Born and raised in London, an American accent doesn't come naturally to Kaluuya, but it sure sounds like it does. Whether it's playing fictional characters in the Jordan Peele films or embodying the deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, in Judas and the Black Messiah, Kaluuya nails it perfectly. They may have slightly different sounds and different tones, but they're definitely all American.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. That's as good as Daniel Day-Lewis, I have to say. Sorry, Daniel. Dan. Really good. Really good. Guess me your next project.
Number 1. Hugh Laurie.
Of course.
You say that the house always wins, and in this case, we have to agree. Just think about it. Can you believe that the British guy sitting next to Rachel on the plane in the season 4 finale of Friends is the same guy who played American Dr. Gregory House for 8 seasons? In 2011, Laurie was inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records as the most watched leading man on television.
Wow.
So for many of us, Laurie's voice is that of Dr. House. But as flawless as Laurie's American accent is, there's one phrase that scares him. A phrase that he will try to avoid at all costs. Maybe that's why he's never been cast as Frank Sinatra in a movie.
Honestly, the one that makes my heart sink when I see it in a script, surprisingly enough, is New York.
Interesting. New York. New York. New York. I don't know why. I think he was very good. Very good accent. But I feel like number 2 and 3 should have been number 1 and 2. And he should have been number 3. Because even in those samples, I heard a little I heard a little bit of British. A little bit of British in there. But really good. Really, really good. Caspian, you're next. Yeah, these were all really good. I have to agree. Christian Bale, Margo Robbie. Yep. These are all great. These are all really good. Yeah, wonderful accents. I just want to reiterate that in general, British actors are the best in the world. I'm just going to say that. And part of acting is the accents. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that British people doing American accents are better than Americans doing British accents. I'm not surprised. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching it with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Later.